We are in this third section of chapter 7, rational exponents. Sometimes these are called fractional exponents, depending on the textbook. I think your Delta Math, if this class is using Delta Math, calls them fractional. So the same thing as rational. They call them fractional because rational numbers are in a fraction. Rational numbers are 1/4. 2 is a fraction because it's 2 over 1. Okay, so rational exponents are whole numbers. It says a rational exponent is an exponent that is a rational number. For example, like I said, 1/4, 2/3, okay, etc. One of the most commonly used rational exponents is 1/2. So for any real number, if we raise to the 1/2 power, that's the same thing as a square root. It's b to the first, and then 2 is in what's called the index. Well, b to the first is just b. 2 is so common that we don't write it. So if I have 16 to the 1/2, that's the same thing as the square root of 16, which is just 4. So write each expression in radical form. They didn't ask us to simplify. They just asked us to write it in radical form. So 18 to the first, which is just 18, and then 2 means it's a square root. You don't have to write the 2. If you do, I'm not going to discredit it. Now, B and C, there's a difference. I'm going to start with C first. This whole quantity, there's parentheses around it, is raised to the first. The index is 2. This does not have parentheses around it, so just whatever is attached to it is going to happen. So 4 is by itself, x is to the first, and it's just a square root there. Okay? Now it says write each expression in exponential form. So they're going to give you something like this, and they want you to write it like this. 24 is to the first power. This is technically a 2, so this is 24 to the 1/2. Same thing here. 3 is off to the side. M is to the first, N is to the first. So the whole quantity is to the 1/2. Everything under this radical is to the first power. So make sure we put in parentheses here, and it's to the 1/2. It says for any real numbers a and b and any positive integer n, a to the n equals b if a is an blank root of b. For any real numbers a and b and any positive integer n, if a is a square root, this is an even root. So for example, a to the n equals b, then the nth root of b equals a. So here should be an even or odd root. So here, cube root, you could put it in your calculator by hitting the math button, going to the cube root button, putting an 8, hitting enter, and getting 2. Okay? Or you could say 8 is to the 1/3, put that in your calculator, and you get 2. Well, yeah, 2 times 2 times 2, 3 of them equal 8. That's why it's 2. So this is saying what 4 numbers multiplied together give you 625. You just put in your calculator 625 to the 1/4. I believe you get 5. Okay, same thing here. Down here, you could put it in your calculator as 100,000 to the 1/5, and they're going to give you an answer of 10. And that's true because 10 5 times equals 100,000. Okay, do you have to do this part? No. Here it says properties of rational numbers or rational exponents can be transferred to an expression called containing the nth root. Example, 8 to the 1/3 is essentially the cube root of 8, which is 2. So they want us to use this method. If you put this in your calculator just like this, you'd get an answer. But they want you to actually say, okay, 27 to the first, and then a cube root. You go to the math button, type in the cube root, hit enter, same deal, and you will get 3. I don't care. Either way you prefer is fine. So you could leave it like this in your calculator, or you could say the 6th root of 64 is what? Okay, we can break it down by hand, but we really haven't gotten it to that point. But if you recall from Algebra 1 or pre-algebra, 64 is 8 times 8, which is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There's 6 of them. So your answer is 2. So I can put it in the calculator like this. I can put it in the calculator like this. Or I can break it down, take out a group of 6, and this is my answer. 3 different ways to do it. You could put it in the calculator like this. You could put it in the calculator like this. Or you could do it by hand and say, okay, 256. I know I can break it down by dividing it by 2. And I'm left with 2 goes into itself once. 2 goes into 5 twice. 2 goes into 16 8 times. You could break it down like that. And then keep breaking it down like that. And then break it down 8 times 8, which is 2 3s and 2 more 3s. So I have a group of 4. I have a group of 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. This is by hand, unnecessary. Just you use your calculator and you can get 4 at this point in time. Chapter 10 is when you really learn this. So that's why I'm okay with it either way. Here now, it says some expressions may contain a rational exponent where the numerator is not equal to 0. Simplify each expression. 64 to the second, taking a square root. So you can put it in the calculator like this, or you can put it in the calculator like this. Totally up to you. Or you could do it by hand, which is 8 times 8 and an 8 times 8. Okay. You take a group of 3 out, you have an 8. 8 breaks down to another group of 3, which is 2, and you get 16. So that's what you're going to learn in Chapter 10. This is the calculator, and this is the calculator. So you can just put it in your calculator just like this by typing 64 to the 2 divided by 3. Enter, you'll get 16. Okay, so you can just straight up put it in the calculator, you'll get an answer. You can also put in the calculator as 36 cubed, taking the square root, or in Chapter 10, where you're going to learn it by hand, is 36 3 times, or 6 6 times another 36 times another 36. I have a group of 2, I have a group of 2, I have a group of 2. So your answer should be 216. You can just type this in your calculator at the end. Same here and same here. You could type it in the calculator and get your answer, or 27 squared, taking the cube root. For those of you that like to challenge yourselves, you can do what I'm doing or just totally ignore this. It's going to be 27 times 27, or 333, and 333. I have a group of 3. I have a group of 3. My answer is 9. So when you put it in the calculator, that's what you should have gotten. We can put it in the calculator like so. We can put in the calculator being a 4th root, 256 to the 5th. Or you can take the 4th root of this 5 times. Okay, and we saw on the front, 256 can break down into 2288. So 2288, but then we have 5 of those. 2288, 2288, 2288, and a 2288. You do not have to do it this way. I have a group of 4. 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 This breaks down into 3 2s. This breaks down into 3 2s. I have a group of 4, and I have a group of 4. Whatever that is, that's your answer. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. It's 64 times 16, whatever that is. Okay. Here it says the surface area of T of a cube can be determined by this formula, where V is the volume of the cube. Find the surface area of the cube if the volume, so this is my formula, the volume is what they give you is 4096 to the 2/3. Literally, type in your calculator 6 parentheses 4096, close your parentheses, then use this caret button is what they call it to divide it by 3, enter. You will get 33,554,432 units squared because they talked about surface area. Okay, it says find the volume of a cube that has the surface area. So they're replacing T. 96 square inches, volume is here. They want you to find volume. So we're going to divide both sides by 6. When we do that, 6 goes into 9 once, subtract, you get 336, goes in 6 more times. So we have to figure out how to get rid of this 2/3. What's the opposite of 2/3? 3/2. Multiply it by its inverse. These will cancel each other out, and you'll get volume equals the square root of 16 to the 3rd. Put that in your calculator, press enter, and this is what you should get. You should get 16 times 16 times 16, which is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Have a group of 3, have a group of 3. Volume is 16. You could just put that in your calculator, and that's what you would get too. Oh, wait. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Group of 2, group of 2, group of 2. 4 times 4 times another 4. It should be 64. Okay, or you can just put it in the calculator and you get 64. I don't have a calculator on me. Inches cubed. Down here, in an blank equation, variables occur as exponent. An exponential. Okay. So here, this is just guessing and checking. What would x have to be? If I put on a 2, that's 64. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to keep going. Okay. My bell is going to ring, so I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to leave these on the board. Okay. So I'm going to put them on the board. If they're not on the board, remind me, and I will put them on the board. Okay. Bell's going to ring. Have a good day.